Seaplanes. Ideal means to promote tourism, develop a short-range transportation system and provide important services to the local community. Seaplanes are versatile. They can operate in a wide variety of environments, from the very center of metropolitan areas to the most extreme wilderness. Seaplanes can also grant the first or last aerial link in an intermodal transportation chain. They can take passengers between an intermediate stop or hub and the very final destination, when this is close to a water surface. This can be in the center of a town, on a river, at a tourist resort, on a lake, on the sea or close to an island. Seaplanes have no significant environmental impact. These are the conclusions of a report made after a 5-year investigation by the US Army Corps of Engineers. Air quality, no impact. Water quality, no impact. Soil quality, no impact. Wildlife, no impact. Fisheries, no impact. Hydrology, no impact. Noise, similar to that created by a large speedboat. Seaplanes are the most environmental friendly flying machines, as they do not use land. They just need a stretch of inexpensive water. Here is, for example, the Como International Seaplane Base. It's invisible and has no environmental impact. Those who don't need to fly don't even know that a big airport exists in the very center of the city. This is why a seaplane base has almost zero impact on the environment. The only tiny impact is acoustic, just for a few tenths of seconds at every takeoff, embedded in the noise of tens of thousands of vehicles, motorbikes, large and small boats and other sources of noise. Seaplanes have an additional advantage. They do not need exclusive use of the waters where they operate, and normally share the surface and land infrastructures with a variety of users. Seaplanes can operate in the exact point of travel departure or destination, provided there is a suitable water surface. And the water surface is always present in the most important places, in the most beautiful places, and in the most inhabited places. Seaplanes are also the safest type of aircraft. They can land on both water and land with minimal or no damage, even in an emergency. These fascinating machines have an image associated with adventure, and are beloved toys for the rich. But their operation is as cheap as to make a ride affordable to every average family. A flight over one's own land is an educational experience of tremendous value for the youngest. Seaplanes can accomplish fundamental tasks in the area of civil protection, search and rescue, firefighting, medical assistance, transportation during emergencies, monitoring of coasts, islands and rivers. Seaplanes are also very effective means to provide services to the poorest and to remote communities. We have seen that a seaplane activity is very qualifying and can offer valuable services to both visitors and locals. This is particularly true in lands where water is abundant. Let's consider, just to make an example, a true land of water such as Assam and in general northeast India. Majestic Brahmaputra, its affluents, other rivers, canals, natural and artificial lakes offer plenty of locations suitable for seaplane operations. Seaplanes allow to view the territory from above, a fascinating experience of the highest cultural value, and enjoy the ever-changing atmosphere a mighty river can offer. as the great photographer Jan Arthus Bertrand was so able to interpret and transmit to us. Investigations are in progress with the aim of transforming into reality the renderings we are presenting. Let's make a completely different example. Guizhou, a mountainous area of China, where apparently seaplanes have little to do. Despite the remoteness and the complex orography, Guizhou is in any case a land of waters. As it is shown in these renderings. It's in lands like this that seaplanes can play their role at the highest level, as they do in Alaska or in British Columbia. Even better than in the more obvious locations on the seaside. Southern Asia and the Far East are the next frontiers of water flying, due to the abundance of water almost everywhere. This is valid for Japan, Korea, Indonesia, the Philippines, Bangladesh, and particularly for China and India. In these countries, with their coasts, rivers, lakes and islands, and with their huge territories and populations, seaplanes could have the largest diffusion in this century. Setting up a seaplane operation, a complex task needing specialized competencies. Seaplane operations take place in a variety of environments, in the air, on the water, on land, each one posing specific challenges. A consequence is that seaplane operations are regulated by a number of authorities, every environment having its own regulations. It's easy to understand that starting a seaplane operation is a complex task, as there are many more factors in play than in a normal aviation activity. But at the end of the process, a precious prize is won: a versatile, pleasant and extremely safe transportation system. Factors that can positively influence the setting up of a seaplane operation: a modern economic and social environment, a high density of population, a strong will to develop tourism, an abundance of water surfaces, plenty of places of interest close to the water surfaces in the area, friendly regulations for the use of the airspace, the presence of forward-thinking local authorities and operators in the field of tourism. Why seaplanes are so convenient? Because the setting up of 10, 100 or 1000 seaplane landing surfaces implies no cost but only regulatory and administrative processes. Small investments can be needed locally for some light infrastructures. No or negligible investment is needed when normal existing maritime infrastructures are available. The Seaplane Team, a complete consultancy service for the setting up of seaplane operations. The Seaplane Team grew from a rib of Aero Club Como, Italy, the oldest seaplane operation in the world and the largest in Europe, an experience dating back to 1913, when the first seaplanes flew on Lake Como. The team is composed of dedicated and enthusiastic people with a real wealth of experience in flying seaplanes and in the management of a seaplane operation. The team can provide a comprehensive consultancy and assistance service from the initial assessment and startup phase to the routine management of an air transport company. Team manager is the presenter of this video, Cesare Baj, an experienced seaplane pilot, operator and aviation writer. These are the books on aviation written by Cesare Baj. The Seaplane Team is active in the European and Mediterranean area and is involved in a large operation in China. The main areas of competence of the Seaplane Team are the setting up of seaplane operations, the study of routes, the setting up of flight schools for seaplane pilots, the setting up and management of water aerodromes and surfaces for seaplane operations, the preparation of studies of environmental impact and the management of environmental issues, consultancy for aviation authorities. Here the Director General of the DGAC, the French Aviation Authority, with his team at Como Seaplane Base. They came to Como to get acquainted with the advanced Italian regulations on the use of water surfaces by seaplanes and with the operating procedures related to the management of a seaplane operation. Seaplane maintenance, inspection, evaluation, purchase and transport of seaplanes, organization and management of civil protection services, organization of expeditions with seaplanes, organization of seaplane events, use of seaplanes in films and advertisements, preparation of plans, renderings and presentations to be shown to authorities and prospective investors. Public relations services, production of promotional material. Production of gadgets, insignia, printed materials and fashion products related to the image of a seaplane company. Initial assessment. Prior to start a seaplane activity, investigations must be made in the following fields: regulations affecting flight, regulations affecting the operation of a commercial air transport company and the flight school, regulations affecting the maintenance of aircraft, regulations affecting the operation of seaplanes while operating on water, sea, inland waters, ports, fiscal regulations affecting the importation, certification and operation of seaplanes, transport services needed in the region, hydrologic environment, areas, climate and weather, type of aircraft needed, interaction with the other transport networks, interaction with the local communities, infrastructures needed for the activity, manpower and services needed, brand, public image, marketing and promotion strategy. Initial collection of data for the preparation of a business plan. The Seaplane Team can assist the investor in going through the initial assessment phase and later in the setting up and management of a seaplane operation. The policy of the Seaplane Team is to offer free of charge a preliminary assessment with just the expenses paid. A long tradition of consultancy. Felice Torelli, a fighter pilot during World War I, later a test pilot of Fiat aircraft, was the chief instructor at Como Seaplane Base in the 30s. In 1935 he was requested to go to China as a pilot and consultant with the Italian aeronautical mission. The mission accomplished many tasks: the construction of airports, the setting up of airplane and engine factories, the formation of pilots, the organization of an air transport system and various logistic services. Torelli, in the photo with his interpreter, were responsible for the formation of pilots. For further information, contact the Seaplane Team. www.seaplaneteam.com. The email address is teammanager@seaplaneteam.com. Thank you.